Welcome, my dark darlings. If you're ready to feel your soul leave your body for 12 minutes, stay. Subscribe right now. Turn on the bell, because after tonight, you will never trust a single tear at a funeral again. My name was Margaret Whitlock, 68 years old, retired schoolteacher, widow. And 6 weeks ago, I was pronounced dead at 4:12 a.m. while I watched. It started with a phone call that shattered my world. Daniel, my only son, voice cracking. Mom, the tests came back. Stage 4 pancreatic cancer. Weeks, maybe days. I dropped the phone. My knees hit the kitchen tiles like gunshots. They arrived that same night. Daniel, Chloe, suitcases already packed. We're moving in, Mom. You shouldn't be alone when the time comes. Within 3 days, they had me signing everything. Power of attorney, bank access, the house deed for taxes. They even chose my coffin. Simple pine, Mom. You always said you wanted to go back to the earth. I never said that. I wanted cedar. I told Daniel when he was 12. They booked me into St. Agnes Hospice, the ward nobody leaves alive. The doctor was young, nervous, kept avoiding my eyes. Every night he upped the morphine. For the pain you must be in. I wasn't in pain. I was in a nightmare I couldn't wake up from. Then came the morning I couldn't move. Not a finger, not a toe. Paralyzed. I heard the nurse on the phone. Yes, Mrs. Whitlock passed at 4:12 a.m. Very peaceful. I screamed inside my head. I'm right here. They zipped the body bag over a face that wasn't mine. A cheap funeral home dummy they'd already ordered. I watched them wheel it out. My own corpse on a schedule. For 72 hours, I lay in that bed, a living ghost. I heard everything. Chloe laughing in the corridor. House hits to market Monday. 3 million easy. Goodbye hospice bills. Hello Maldives. Daniel's voice, ice cold. She lasted longer than I thought. Thought the morphine would have finished her sooner. That was the moment the old Margaret died. Something darker opened its eyes inside me. I waited. I counted heartbeats. On the 4th morning, the night nurse stepped out for coffee. I sat up, ripped the IV from my vein, blood sprayed like red champagne. I stole the wheelchair, the hospital gown, and the holy grail, my death certificate, still warm from the printer. I folded it into my gown like a dagger. I wheeled myself through the service exit, into the rain, into freedom. That very evening, they held my wake. The funeral home was packed, lilies everywhere, my coffin open, wax dummy wearing my favorite blue dress, Daniel at the podium, crocodile tears perfect. My mother was the strongest woman I ever knew. That's when the double doors exploded open. Thunder cracked outside like God himself was angry. Every head snapped around. There I was, soaked hospital gown, clinging to my bones, oxygen tank hissing like a demon, wheelchair leaving a trail of rainwater and blood, death certificate raised above my head like a battle flag. I rolled down the aisle, slow, slower, slowest, until I stopped right beside my own open coffin. Silence so thick you could taste it. I looked down at the dummy, tilted my head, and spoke. Voice raw, deadly, calm. Wrong shade of lipstick, darling, and the wig is cheap. Chloe screamed and collapsed. Daniel's face turned the color of the corpse he paid for. I held up the death certificate so the phone cameras could zoom. Cause of death? Massive morphine overdose. Administered under the written order of Daniel Whitlock. I turned the paper. His signature glowed under the funeral lights. Gasps. Cries. Someone vomited in the back row. Daniel lunged. You're dead. You're supposed to be dead. 2 off-duty cops, friends of Evelyn, tackled him to the carpet. I wasn't done. While I was dying, Evelyn had torn the city apart. Every account frozen, every document revoked, and the masterpiece, my brand new will, signed with a trembling hand in that hospice bed, while they toasted my death in the corridor. I faced the room full of shocked faces, voice now strong as steel. Margaret Whitlock died at 4:12 a.m. Everything she owned now belongs to the hospice that tried to murder her, and every cancer patient who will never have to choose between medicine and food again. My son gets nothing, not a penny, not a photograph, not even the pine coffin he was too cheap to pay extra for. Daniel was sobbing on the floor. I wheeled right over his hand, slowly, felt the crunch, leaned down so only he could hear. You wanted me gone so badly. You killed me on paper. Congratulations, darling. Margaret Whitlock is legally dead, and ghosts don't pay inheritance tax. I turned to Chloe, still sprawled among the lilies. Enjoy the Maldives. I hear the prison island is lovely this time of year. That night, they were both arrested in front of the entire town. Attempted murder, fraud, conspiracy, live streamed to 500,000 people within an hour. hour. 3 months later, I'm on a balcony in Santorini. New name, new passport, new life. Sunset, bleeding red into the sea. The hospice received $9 million. Real patients are getting real treatment. And every week, I get a letter from Cell Block D. Mom, please, I'm sorry. Visit me. I light the letter with my cigarette, watch it curl into black butterflies, and let the wind take them. Some of you will call me a monster. Some of you will call me a legend. I call it Tuesday. So tell me in the comments, my beautiful monsters, if your child measured your coffin while you were still breathing, would you simply forgive? Or would you come back from the grave and burn their world to ash? Like if your heart is still racing. Subscribe because next week I have something even darker. And if you're watching this at 3 a.m., lock your bedroom door. Someone might be planning your funeral right now. Good night, my darlings. Stay alive. It's the best revenge.